For a while there during COVID, it felt almost normal in America. We were being laughed at by the rest of the world like we usually are, but at least it felt like mass shootings had gone down. School shootings didn't seem as prominent anymore. Maybe that's just because COVID was our primary focus, but it really snaps you back into reality about how tragic living in the US can be sometimes when you have to wake up to literally an elementary school of kids being shot up. And only in America. Not that it couldn't happen somewhere else, but it seems to happen here more than anywhere else. And I know we have 300 million people in America and we have lots of guns, but we need to do something. I know that mass shootings on a whole are still a rare occurrence, and let's say close to 1 million people died of COVID. But these types of events are so out there. They're so extreme. COVID is a disease. It's a virus. It's natural. As far as, dying can be natural. This is not natural. Little kids being shot while they're trying to go to school to get an education is not natural. This kid, Xavier Lopez, 10 years old, was a fourth grader, was killed. Uzziah Garcia, 10, he was in the fourth grade. The teacher, the fourth grade teacher was killed. These are the faces of people that were gunned down. And I'm not exactly sure of the details. I don't know where this person got the gun, if they went out and bought the gun themselves, if they got it off a family member. I believe the person might have been living with their grandma, so they might have got it off their grandma. So lock up your guns, everyone. But what's insane to me is that we have a huge portion of Americans that are not concerned. I mean, obviously they're concerned with this, but they're not concerned with fixing it. And gun control is the only thing that is going to fix this. Hell, if we're not going to do anything about gun control, I'm up for arming teachers. I'm up for putting metal detectors in schools. I'm up for putting police officers in schools who are actually able to do something if a conflict were to go down. But we can't just allow this to happen. We cannot sit back as Americans and be like, yeah, this is acceptable, and not do something. It still doesn't make any sense to me why firearms... I can literally go out tomorrow if I'm not a felon and buy a firearm. Absolutely no problem. I can't do the same with a car and get on the road and start driving tomorrow, but I can do that with a gun. We need to have gun laws where buying a gun and owning a gun is similar to having that of a license. Bruce, quit it. Not right now. It's similar to having that of a car license. I don't know why we take something like a gun. Literally, it's the most dangerous thing you can buy, and put no barriers to entry to get a gun. But we do with so many other things. Just not guns, because it's a part of the Second Amendment, a well-armed militia. Do you think the forefathers intended for every single American to be armed? I think they intended for well-armed militias to stand up against the government, but people have read into this constitutional right, and I'm not looking to take away everyone's guns, but we need to do something. Something needs to happen where these children dying isn't something we shrug off and we continue on to the next day like nothing has happened. We need stricter gun laws in the U.S. Absolutely. And we need to keep speaking like this when the bodies, aren't fresh. This just happened. So once this leaves our mind, and once we no longer care about these little kids dying, once something else captures our attention, we need to continue to focus on gun control and making this type of thing never happen again. I mean, how can we expect our kids to go to school when they see stuff like this? How can we expect to foster an environment of learning, education, when kids are afraid to go to school and get fucking shot? No elementary school kid should be in fear of losing his life and being shot at school. It's absolutely disgusting. And what's even more disgusting is there's a huge portion of Americans who don't want to do anything about it. because they own 50 guns and they have names for every single one of them. There is such a thing as a fetishizing of guns in America, and lots of people have a fetish, I'll tell you, and their fetish overrides their sensibility, their sense of justice when it comes to little kids being murdered. That's what pisses me off about America and living here sometimes, is that people are more concerned with some notion that they're going to have to defend themselves against government tyranny than they are about, Alitha Ramirez, 10 years old. They don't care about her, but they do care about their Glock that they're never going to use that sits around. And again, I don't want to take that away, but we need to do something. Anyways, that's it.